want to take you where the story started, to Amman, Jordan, to my grandmother's home. I heard her say, in a deep, loving Arabic voice, "Ta'ali ya Dima," which means, "Dima, come here." I'm 5 years old. I put my dolls down and run to the kitchen where my grandmother spent all of her day cooking and cleaning. I saw her standing next to the stove, making hummus. Her beautiful face was shining with a big smile. She motions to me to go closer to her. And as I do, she goes towards the kitchen table, picks a magazine, rolls it, and ties it with a red ribbon. She said, "Today, we're going to play a new game. We're going to celebrate the day you graduate from college. I made you a diploma. Just run to me when I call your name to receive it." I'm 5. I didn't understand what graduation meant or what a diploma is. All that mattered was that I was playing with my favorite person in the world. She took 4 steps backward, stood straight, raised her head, was holding the diploma, and announced in a loud voice to an invisible audience, thousands of people in our imagination, and said, "Help me to congratulate the next graduate, Dima Ghawi." And then she motions to me to go and accept the diploma. I do, and as I do, she hugs me, and she says, "Mabruk, ana fakhura fiki," which means, "Congratulations, I am so proud of you." I was standing there holding the diploma, not realizing that my grandmother carefully invented this game to plant the seeds of empowerment in me early on that took roots in my heart, bloomed in my imagination, and brought fruits of success in my life. Years later, I learned the secret behind the graduation game. My grandmother, as a little girl, was not permitted to go to school. She would see her brothers every morning dress up in their school uniform, put their backpacks on that were filled with books, and they have their pencils and pencil sharpeners. And then at the end of the day, they would come and they would work on their homework. She would be sitting next to them trying to catch any bites of information as they're studying. She taught herself the shapes and the sounds of alphabets so she can read magazines, follow her favorite movie stars, and she would read them cover to cover. Reading represented independence to her. And one of the magazines magically transformed in her kitchen to a dream of a formal education, beautifully tied with a red ribbon. It is the symbol of empowerment, the challenge to the norm, and a desire of a better future starting with me. That is my grandmother's legacy and the best, most valuable thing I inherited from her. Now, decades later, what I wish is for me to play with her one more time and tell her that her dream became a reality. I would love to stand there and watch her beautiful face shine with pride. It was definitely not easy, and there were so many obstacles in the way, people putting me down and telling me my role in society and family and business. But the dream that she planted in me was so powerful, it was unstoppable. My grandmother was born and raised into a story that did not serve her. But it was important for her to change that story. And now I look around the room and I wonder, what stories are you living with? Maybe some of them are great, that are telling you you can do anything you want. But there could be other stories that are also limiting you and defining your role and not allowing you to be the person that you really, really want to be. And those are the stories that we need to change. Those are stories as of today we need to change, and we have the power to change them. So now I want to ask you. I actually not want to ask you. I want you to commit, to write down, what do you want your new story to be as of today? And today is going to be the beginning of the rest of your life. What do you want your story to say? What do you want it to be? And our first exercise, we talked about what is limiting you internally. I want you to look at that and cross it, because this should not apply with us anymore. We want to advance. The world needs us. The world needs amazing, powerful women in leadership. And as long as we limit ourselves, that's not going to serve us. And as long as we live with the old stories, that's not going to serve us. We need to start a new story today. Who's ready to have a new story today? Okay, write your story.